All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the latest LAAGCast. It is, December 13th?
Yes, I believe it is.
It's December 13th, 2018, as we record this. Probably not as you're listening to it.
No.
Pretty late in the day already. But yeah, I'm here. I'm Max Williams. With me, as always, is my co-host, Sam Richards.
Present and accounted for.
Good. I think that we have an okay episode today.
Yeah,
Some cool things to talk about. Let's talk about... first, the thing we just finished watching minutes ago, what turned out to be the season finale of the very short first season of Castlevania on Netflix.
Yep, 4 episodes.
4 episodes.
Netflix must not have been sure.
Definitely. It was like a pilot season.
Yeah.
Or it was like a movie that they split up into episodes for your enjoyment.
Yeah, that's true.
When you think about how it was paced, how the whole first 20 minutes was just here's what the world is, and then the last 3 20-minute segments were here's the main character, here's the plot, here's where the resolution into the next section.
Yep.
So a lot of good action in this one, a lot of good dialogue.
Yeah, it was a good episode. Right off the beginning with the death of the priest. That was fun.
The damn demon that was talking to him. So many great comebacks. It's like, this is not a church. Your God is not here. This is just a box. So Warren Ellisy. Yeah. Your God does not love you. But we do.
Yeah, just the way.
Munch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was excellent, menacing. It's too bad to see Matt Frewer go. He did good as that evil priest.
Yeah, that was fun.
Who ended up being, I guess, the real antagonist of season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Him and the demons. We got to see the speaker priest lady do her ice mage powers. That was cool. Yeah, fire mage and ice mage.
Yeah, that's right. She can make lines of fire. She can do ice spikes out of the ground, ice walls. All very useful. She's powerful.
Yeah, the proper magic.
Right, and then at the very end of the episode, surprising no one, the two lead characters now, Trevor and Elena? Yeah.
Elena, yeah.
They're falling far deeper into the catacombs than where he found her, and they find the crypt that contains the hero, the quote-unquote. It's weird. Did they lace the story? He knew the story. Did he go... Dracula put him in there, though, or did he get himself... It seems like he got himself down there to heal somehow.
It seems like he got himself down there and set up all that shit so that you could heal. So he was pretty strong still.
Yeah, that sword was fantastic. That sword was at least... the size of the sword and the way that the two characters' visual dichotomy was made me think a lot of Trigun. So it's it's like Vash versus Wolfwood visually. And one has a weapon that's taller than he is.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and Alucard, voiced by James Callis of Battlestar Galactica fame.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, he was menacing.
Designed.
It sounded like he put something in his mouth to make it sound like he was talking with fangs.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I really think that was happening.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it past him. That dude is good. Well, we know from his work as Baltar that he's good with voices and stuff and accents and all that.
Right. And it's funny to see him voicing the character who looks the least like him of the entire cast. He's very thin. He's like an elf.
Oh, he looks like a Norwegian metal god. I thought he
when he
looked
put on
very
his long
much.
Coat.
Well, even before that, I was thinking he looked a lot in design to Swissguard Squid of Death Clock of Metalocalypse, the lead guitarist.
Yeah,
who talks like this.
Those metal pants, the very low-rise metal pants.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's designed as. He's definitely Norwegian.
Once we had the three of them lined up at the end, I was so seeing the initial design stage of the show. I was like, "Yep, here's the 3 characters with the 3 looks."
Yep. Building a party. That was also a theme this episode. Right? As soon as he fell into the crypts. Trevor and Elena, I'm like, okay, so now it's these two. Are they going to continue to acquire allies?
Right, because no one else they've met is a character who can be attached to the team yet. And as soon as their little fellowship is formed, they're instantly in like a maze of contraptions and traps, because this is a video game, of course.
Yes, it is. Yeah, how about Alucard's, he warps behind you?
That's cheating.
Oh, and so a video game.
The effect itself.
Yeah.
I thought that it seemed like they saved a lot of the budget for that fight between the two of them at the end. Some of the animation seemed smoother.
It was a really good fight.
Yeah, some of the drawings seemed slightly higher detailed. Yeah, it was good stuff. Yeah, especially it being just 4 episodes for that first season. I think that the show overall, that's an easy recommend.
Yeah, very watchable.
And now I need to look up. I think Trevor is a Belmont that you play as in some of the Castlevanias.
Nice.
So I need to look up what the relationship is between Simon and Trevor Belmont, knowing very little about Castlevanias. But, Simon's in that new Smash Bros.
Yes, he is. He's pretty fun.
So we gotta, I still haven't played it, so gotta get on that. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about for us, the mid-season finale of Star Trek Discovery. I guess it was the mid-season finale of Star Trek Discovery.
Yes, it was.
Not just ours.
Yeah.
Into the Forest I Go. Very confusingly titled.
Yeah, it sounds like the last episode.
Where they were literally in a forest.
Right. Whereas this time, were they in a forest? Did they end up in a forest? Not really.
I would suggest that the forest they went into was the map that Lorca showed to Stamets when he showed him the map of different realities and galaxies and all the possibilities of spore travel, and then at the end they're jumping between actual galaxies. I think that's into the forest they went.
Yeah, no, I see where you come from. Like, each reality is a tree in the forest.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's rewind a little bit. Go all the way back to the beginning of the episode, where the signal has gone out from the aliens on Pavo. Discovery's there already. The Klingon ship's on its way. The Discovery is ordered to retreat, and Lorca does nothing that makes sense from what we think the motivations for his character should be, knowing what we know about who that character actually is. Because he acts heroic and selfless, and basically, agrees to follow through with a plan that has a very low chance of success.
Right. He wants to save those Pavans.
The Pavans. He actually seems like he's gonna obey his orders right up until the point that they actually have a workable plan. They're gonna warp away, but the second they come up with a plan, they can just spore drive right back there, which kind of by itself shows you how the spore drive is just game breaking. They need to cut that shit out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That spore drive, the jumping this episode. Let's talk about the actual battle. Okay. So for the plan, once the Klingons get to Pavo, the Discovery jumps back to engage them selflessly. Right. And sends out a away team of Burnham and Ash Tyler. Right. To plant
a two-person away team.
A two-person away team with high-ranking officers. No security team.
Well, isn't Tyler like the head of security?
Right. But so you should bring a security team with him. If he has a security team, it doesn't seem like he does, but that's something else.
Yes, it's a poorly thought out plan.
Yeah,
in that respect. The giant transmitters they have to hide are like glowing disco balls that have to be a foot away from anything in any direction. Like, we're just gonna stand in the middle of the room here. Yeah, right by where people are.
Right, nobody's gonna see you. There's also no security teams patrolling the Klingon ship, denying access to key areas such as the bridge.
Now, I feel like the ship itself is supposed to feel like it's a giant, cavernous ship. And on the outside, it seems huge, but every time we're in there, they just got that one set. and there's just no sense of scale from the inside of the Klingon cruiser. You were even like, wait, isn't this the same ship that they were on before with L'Rell? And that ship was like a little scout ship or something. There was 10 people on that ship, but the show does a horrible job of explaining of really giving you a sense of the scale of these ships.
Right, except for that first shot where you go down 3 decks that are all covered by the one front bridge window.
That's true. That window, they'd love to show you shit through that window.
Yep.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I had... Oh, yeah, the Discovery and the ship, the Klingon ship of the dead itself in that battle is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
The Klingon ship gets there.
Right.
And it stays there while Discovery gets there and starts doing battle. And then it goes to Cloak.
Right.
And it doesn't move. It seems to be in place. Now, I understand that in space, if you only have two objects and you have one moving around the other, and you're keeping the camera steady on the first ship, that, it wouldn't look like there's a whole ton of motion from the first ship. But, you create that by having, like, panning cameras and things to make it look like they're both engaged in maneuvers.
Right. It's 100% seems like the Klingons were like a little kid in a room that were like, I'm going to throw on this sheet and stand here, and you can't see me now.
Right.
Like, you have to go invisible and then move.
Yeah.
Like,
and that bothered me for most of the episode.
Because it really seemed to negate the whole need for the part of the planet where they need to triangulate the ship. Because it was all, they were doing the jump so fast, and it seemed like they knew where the ship was.
At all times.
At all times, and it's just like, if we can just do all these jumps, boom, 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 we're going to be able to map it. Like,
yeah.
Like, did you really need two transmitters so that you could know what direction the Klingon ship was facing? Nah, they could have put one. And good. Because as soon as they went in there, Saru was like, they're transmitting the cloaking frequency while the ship was cloaked. So, like, they were there. Like, this was not thought out.
No. It kind of all falls apart under any scrutiny.
How about when they start having the Klingons speak in English? And how much better the show suddenly gets?
Well, yeah. It's an interesting choice. And then to have Cole point out that they're speaking English, or they're not speaking English, they're speaking Klingon even though we're hearing them in English.
Right. Yeah, considering how fastidious they've been about keeping the Klingons speaking in Klingonese, it's awkward.
It is.
I mean, it's cool the way Burnham uses the tricorder as a universal translator. Kind of.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So the jump sequence looks cool. Stamets' brain has been totally rewired, we learn in this episode from not the chief medical officer.
Yeah, he's messed up. Everybody goes to not the chief medical officer. I
did like the bit where Burnham gives the little speech and then goes up on to face Cole and goes, I'm the one who killed Takuvma. Like, I mean, I bought it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like, it seemed like a cool moment. But then the actual fight itself is so, like, there's no way. I understand that she knows Vulcan martial arts, and so she's going to have some ability.
Yeah.
But the strength level that they've portrayed Klingons as, especially in Discovery, like, it's crazy. Like, the way that, I mean, she loses.
Yeah.
She loses the fight.
Yeah.
But that fight is not that believable.
No, it's not. And then for her to be all like, fight me one-on-one, what about Klingon honor? And then she ditches the fight and blows him up.
Well, she ain't no Klingon honor. She has Vulcan logic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So then they blow up the ship.
Yeah, which is nice.
It looks nice. Lorca puts in his little eye drop sprays.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even watch the final explosion.
No, he turns around and slow-mo walks out of the room as everything goes in slow-mo.
Let's talk about the slow-mo sequence, because it is such a missed opportunity that when they pan, it's like still in slow-mo, they do that, like Lorca nods and Burnham nods, and it turns to Saru, and Saru turns around in slow motion nods. Saru needed to give a thumbs up right there. He needed to just do the thumbs up, head nod meme. Like, you did it, Burnham. Like, they were so setting it up. But no, we needed 20 minutes of Tyler being depressed.
Right, and after that battle, after that ship gets blown up, man, does it screech to a halt.
I do want to
Tyler.
I believe while we were watching, I did mention how distracting that Tyler's facial hair is, how it makes it look like he has no chin whatsoever. Today, they released the newest trailer for the next season of Disco, and he's in it a bunch, and he has a huge beard now. I think they realized that it was a problem. And
he got the Riker treatment.
Yeah, exactly. He got Riker. Although he has like long hair now, too, so I think it's more that he got Klingoned.
Oh, well, that's cool, too. Yeah,
I'm kind of down, like, if they want to take his character in that direction. But that's getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes, it is.
Lorca totally butters up Stamets with the Federation. Like, beauty of discovery speech.
Yeah, that's a really good speech.
Yeah, it's great. Like, the whole episode is like, Lorca's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, but maybe. Maybe he does just want to go explore with the Discovery, and he needs to beat the Klingons first so he can go and take the Discovery and explore the multiverse.
No, I think we know exactly what he wants the Discovery for. He just wants to create the best weapon and then take it home with him.
Yeah, that's true. It's too bad.
It is too bad. And then, yeah, that's it. They jump, but the jump is wrong. We see on Lorca's little control panel that he has put in, like, a little red other thing into their jump pattern right before the final jump. So they end up somewhere else with a lot more purple nebulas.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a dimmer universe overall, and their instruments can't tell where they are.
No.
And that's the mid-season mark.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a pretty entertaining episode. It does grind to a halt during the 12-minute denouement where Burnham is just comforting Tyler in his quarters at the end. But other than that, pretty solid, good acting. Detmer even gets her name said again.
Yeah.
So I guess next we are off to the Battle of the Binary Stars. We're gonna throw in the flashback. While we were watching this one, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, it's actually kind of nice that we're going to see Battle of the Binary Stars next, because this episode was so much about, like, Philippa Georgiou and all the stuff that happened to that. And,
right, and her badge.
Yeah, her damn badge that he uses to pick his teeth.
Yeah, at least Cole has, like, less makeup around his chin area than the other Klingons, so it's so much easier for him to emote.
That other Klingon that was standing behind Cole in some of the early scenes was the most... like that
skinny head Klingon.
You know what he looked like? He looked like when Miles O'Brien was in Klingon makeup. He was just like, I'm an awkward, square-faced man. Like, I'm a bureaucrat. What?
Yeah. That was some funny makeup.
Alright, so we will get to more discovery on the next episode, but for now we're going to move on to our character ranking segment. We do this in every episode. Oh. We are currently ranking the characters of the Final Fantasy franchise that appear in games we have personally played.
Right, the ones you play as and villains.
And villains, many of which you do play as in one form or another.
It's true.
So we currently have a list of 36. Sam has provided me a list of 5, from which I will select 4. Ooh, let's talk about Cyan. Let's get these damn 6s out of the way.
Cyan
is
noble knight.
He is stealth, one of the best characters in 6.
He is rather funny.
He's funny.
You get a lot of comedy from how uptight he is about everything.
He is sort of, character-wise, not that dissimilar from Steiner. He's if Steiner wasn't sort of a dunce.
That's true.
Yeah.
If Steiner was like the true knight.
Exactly.
He portrays himself as.
And man, Cyan's another guy you want in your party, dude. That guy can hit hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
He is good. Though his specialty is a little bit lackluster, since you have to wait for like the timer to count up to do his different moves.
Right.
So you have to sit there.
It's weird. Right.
Yeah.
But good design though. I always like that ponytailed knight look.
Yeah. He's good all around.
He's good all around, but I don't know if he can go super high on the list. I'm looking right around Kuja.
I like him more than Kuja.
Alright, sailing up a little bit. Do we like him more or less than Steiner?
I think I like Steiner a little more.
Alright, we're circling it there. What about Riku from Final Fantasy X?
I like Riku more.
What about Irvine?
I like Cyan more.
Okay, well, the only one between them is Princess Garnet.
Princess Garnet. I like Princess Garnet more.
Alright, so right above Riku, we're going to put Cyan. Ooh, I wrote Cryan. That's a bird. Alright, let's do it. Let's talk about Sephiroth. Sephiroth. Speaking of long, thin swords and long, pale hair.
Yeah, that's true. Very similar to Alucard.
Sephiroth is so badass.
Yeah.
Until you really think about how weird he is. So weird. That game is so weird, like sci-fi horror.
Yeah, it's true.
The whole Genova thing is it's absolutely horrific.
It's true. Genova crashed on the planet as an alien that was meant to destroy all life or something. Like, that's what it wanted to do, and like it didn't work because the people stopped it with magic.
Didn't the life stream like do it?
Oh yeah. Right. Genova was going to crash into the planet,
and the
life
life
stream stopped it.
Made Genova inert in some way.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, and then because isn't Genova dissected by the time we get to Sephiroth being created?
Like, Genova has been dissected by Shinra, and parts of Genova has been by Hojo. and his predecessor, I believe, as well.
Right, the Doctor who wasn't so evil.
Right, the Doctor who was not so evil and died for his family. The last of the ancients before Eris. But back to Genova. They take parts of Genova and they clone people and monsters from Genova by mixing Genova pieces and Mako energy from the planet, the life stream, and that's how you get Sephiroth.
So that's how you create the perfect soldier who eventually go insane and attempt to merge himself with his mother in order to summon a meteor that will come down and destroy everything.
Yeah.
Sephiroth. But damn, he looks cool.
And he is so evil.
One-winged angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they moved his song.
They moved his song, and then they literalized it when he shows up in Kingdom Hearts.
Right, yes they do.
Because he's also the hardest villain in the original Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, man.
That fight. That fight is far harder than the actual fight against Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII.
Well, yeah.
So
he is pretty badass.
Let's see. I'm gonna match him up against another villain. Is Sephiroth better or worse than Kefka? It's hard because as much as it seems like Sephiroth is the obvious answer,
I know.
Kefka might be a better villain.
Yeah, I think he might actually be a better villain. I mean, like, the amount of evil within Kefka compared to the amount of evil, like, Sephiroth sees it as his duty to kill all humans.
He's almost a zombie.
Yeah, the puppet.
Right, very much so. Lots of puppets in that game.
Yeah, whereas Kefka is out there for ultimate power over everything and builds himself like a huge tower and rules the world for a while.
And he looks like a clown.
And he's a clown.
Alright, so next down, another villain is Cypher.
I think Sephiroth's better than Cypher.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both puppets.
And they are puppets, so Sephiroth. Alright, that's 2 down. Alright, you're going to have to remind me. I don't remember who Celeste is.
Celeste is the general in Final Fantasy VI who Locke saves from the prison when he goes off on his own.
Right.
And then after Kefka destroys the world and makes himself emperor of everything, it's Celeste who takes care of Locke at the house on the island.
Right. She's the knight.
She is the knight.
Captain of the Knight's Guard or something like that, right?
Yeah, who turns against the army. I can't remember why they captured her and decided. She must have been not down with some of the evil they were doing.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Yeah, she's cool. I think that she's the best main girl character in the game. I think she's a better character than Terra.
Yeah, she is better than Terra.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, she's strong.
Another one who hits hard.
Alright, well, looking at the list, is she better or worse than Sabin?
Nah, she's not as good as Sabin.
Well, what about Zell?
Not quite as good as Zell either.
Lulu?
No.
Well, next one down is Terra, so I guess right underneath Lulu.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Alright. Alright, Celeste, of course. And last but not least, who the hell is Seymour?
Seymour Guado from Final Fantasy X.
Right.
The villain.
The fucking greatest hair in Final Fantasy history.
Yeah, and the look and voice that right from the beginning you're like,
oh, he's the villain.
He's the villain.
Right, you see all these other Guado, and they're like weird looking people, and then you see that guy, and he's like this crazy statuesque, like over designed, hair everywhere, clothes everywhere, every color, dark, deep voice, tall.
Showing off, like he has clothes everywhere, but yet he's showing off his chest down to his belly button.
So much torso.
With tattoos.
With so many clothes on. And that really creepy summon that you can get is his mom.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. It is his mom. And that's one of the coolest looking summons in the game.
Yeah, so...
All chained up and destroying everything with, like, the one eye that can see.
Right, and that's just the bit of it that exists above ground. Below, it has, like, the hell half, where there's, like, another beast down there.
Jesus.
Oh, no, yeah, it's one of the craziest designs for anything, in anything.
Yeah.
Straight terror. But, yes, Seymour. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good, but...
Flamboyant as hell.
Is he the main? No, right, Sin.
Well, right, Sin.
Right, yeah, he's kind of... Yeah, he's real sub-bossy.
Yeah.
Like, very much like... He's Team Rocket in the Pokemon game. Like, instead of being the actual Elite Four, you know?
Or he's Cypher.
He's causing the problem. Yeah, Cypher is a pretty good comparison, but Cypher's a way better version of that character.
Yeah.
Despite Seymour not being a puppet, really, at all.
Right, no, he's in it for himself.
Alright, well, looking at the list, is he better or worse than Shadow and Interceptor from 6?
I can say he's a little better than Shadow and Interceptor.
Alright, moving up a little bit, what about Sabin from 6?
Sabin. Nah.
Alright, so we have a range. Alright, what about Lulu from the same game? He's worse.
Yeah.
Alright, so Celeste and Terra are next down.
I think he's above Celeste and Terra.
Alright, so right below Lulu, that's Seymour Guado. Alright.
Master Seymour.
We've done it.
Yep, that's the rankings.
So we're going to take a quick break as usual, and then we'll be back with the week's poll list. And we are back with the comics for the week. Kind of a light week.
Yep.
Want to start with issue 5 of The Magic Order by Mark Miller and Olivier Coipel. This is the that weirdo adult Harry Potter one where there's like this order of magicians and they're all getting murdered by somebody, and they have to go back and get the prodigal son, the brother who was the best magician ever, but his daughter was killed, so he's not been a magician for a while. He and his wife just went to live away from all this magical stuff.
Right.
There's a couple of pretty cool sequences now that they've got the Uber Wizard on their side. They have to find out where the villain's base is, so they find one of the villain's lackeys and who's driving the car, and they wreck his car, and then throw themselves into a 30-second time jump back. And they let him know, like, oh, you were in a crash just now. You suffered horrible brain damage. It's permanent. But we can reverse it one time. We can only do this time jump once. He still doesn't break. So instead they put him into Robinson Crusoe. And then he lives 30 years on the island without Robinson Crusoe. And he isn't as good at living on the island. So he's in real bad shape there. And so that's what finally gets him to break. And... let him know what they want to know. And then they put him into the island of Dr. Moreau at the end as a punishment. So then we get to the theater, and our team goes down to fight the villain. And, big twist, Uber Wizard brother, who is going to be their savior, turns out he was the masked killer all the time.
Oh, there you go.
The villains have promised to use the dark magic to bring back his dead daughter, something his family would never agree to do. And all they need is to sacrifice the sister. That's the last thing they need to bring the daughter back to life. One issue left. Boom, boom, boom. Olivier Coipel can really draw. It looks fantastic. Like it's you can see the TV show that it's going to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's so cinematic, and he's got all those wide panels, and everyone looks like sort of just normal. It's not superhero bodies.
No,
but yeah, it's okay. It's okay stuff. It's a 6.
All right,
for the twist, it gets a 6.
Cool.
All right, let's move on to a book whose cover lies.
Yes, we have the new issue of Superman by Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reis.
Love Ivan Reis. Another one where, the art. Ooh, baby. And then needs it too, because this issue, man.
Yeah, this issue is mostly Superman thinking to himself while battle is going on in super speed. So, nobody's really talking outside of that because it's just his thoughts because everything going on is too fast, which makes me think of Dragon Ball again.
That's a very good point. The way that all of his, it's a lot of huge full-page splashes and big action, and all of his internal monologue is not in boxes or speech bubbles or anything. It's just laid out right on the page.
Right on the page.
The first 2/3 of this book is like a children's storybook.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's much more brutal.
Because he's commenting on it and he's saying, oh, this means this. But he's also literally describing the things that are happening on the page. It's like, Zod thrashes, Rogol Zar, bam, bam, bam. There he is.
Yep. And that's what you get for the first half of that page. It's just page after page of spread battle and monologue.
And it looks great. All these 2-page spreads.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. When he finally gives him the big 4 Candor punch.
Right. That's when you finally get some dialogue. Superman punches Zar and goes 4 Candor. And then we get pages of him explaining to us that was for Zod to hear so that he knows that Candor is no more.
Oh, this was so much Zod. Talking. It was for Zod to hear.
Yeah, it was for Zod. Zod.
I know. And Bendis so fell into the Bendis speak in this one. It's like, and I know this. I know he knows this. But I know this.
Right.
It's like, calm down.
Yeah, you don't need all that. But then Superman gets pulled out of the Phantom Zone by Star Labs.
Right, which changes the format of the book back to a regular comic book.
Yeah, and then we're back, and Superman originally thinks he needs to go back in to help Zod for their good team up, but then he's pretty easily convinced, he's needed here.
Yeah, fuck it.
They're in the Phantom Zone.
There's a bridge being wrecked somewhere or something.
Yeah.
And then, without Superman. Even though Zod was kicking his ass at the beginning.
Right, even without Superman.
Suddenly, without Cal, Zod is pretty handily thrashed. Off panel by Rogol Zar. Don't like that.
Yes.
Show us some action. I know this book is all action, but come on. Show us the action.
It's true. But, even if we didn't get it, we probably were supposed to assume that, Rogol Zar was going to win that after Superman decided, nah.
And then Rogol Zar has his, weird change of heart and is like, no, not I. We'll fight together. And for some reason, this one felt not like he was manipulating them. I don't know why.
I felt like, he remembered right then. There's still one to get. Let's manipulate these guys.
Right. I guess
Superman's out there.
You're almost assuredly more correct than I am. Okay, so then Clark's flying around.
Yeah, he's back to it, and who should show up but his son John. A little bit older.
Looks older.
Looks older and has a snazzy new suit with the big old Superman S on it. Superman cape and everything. I
do kind of like how the S is very rounded. Is that the same way he's drawn Soup's S on Soup's chest?
Nah.
Not really. Yeah, no, John's is notably rounded out.
Yeah, more of an Earth S than the Kryptonian symbol for the House of Zar.
Right.
No, not Zar. L. The House of L.
I hate the suit. I hate the fingerless gloves.
Yeah. In reality, it is a terrible suit. It's too shiny.
The little armor plates.
Yeah, the fact that it's given him fake muscles.
Yeah, the boots, all the stuff where it's adding padding. I mean, I guess it's trying to evoke his previous Superboy costume. That was more of a jacket and hoodie type dealie. That was slightly more casual. But this is worse than New 52 Superman, dude. What are they thinking? And it looks better on this page than it does in the other previews I've seen. But Ivan Reis is going to make anything look okay, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's not a great costume. It's probably not here to stay.
I am inspired, though, by the look on his face, because all the promotional images and, the cover of this book have been very ooh, he's angry, glowing red eyes now. Watch out for punk angry kid John. But, that expression on his face.
It's Superman's expression.
Yeah, exactly. So that does put me at ease a tiny bit.
Yeah. where we can get to the merging of the houses of El and Zod. Zod.
Yeah, is Zod dead?
Yeah, I guess that feature's not happening now. Zod's stuck in the Phantom Zone.
For now, yeah, that's the thing about the status quo. It's like, they got sucked into the Phantom Zone, and then they fought in the Phantom Zone for a little bit, and now they're out of the Phantom Zone. And not much has changed.
Right. Yeah. The only real difference is now Zod is in the Phantom Zone with Rogol Zar.
Right. And Cal is... he wants to talk to his dad about Rogol Zar, because he figures that Jor-El might know a thing or two about this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
So what are you going to give it?
Oh. I hadn't really thought about it. I am giving it a 6. Because that art is so damn good.
It looks really nice. Like, for a Superman comic. Like, in the trade, this is going to be the last issue. And so you want to go out with a bang. So, yeah, maybe it won't drag to a halt so much with the paragraphs. The paragraphs!
Yeah, but, they're very much... there's a reason there's no bubbles blocking the action here.
Yeah, no, they made a conscious decision to, they're like, oh man, Brian's he's gonna fill it up with shit. Like, what can we do? What can we do to not block too much of the art with boxes and boxes of text? Okay, let's just lay the text right over the comic art. Yeah. I think 6 is the right score for this book.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. So the Batman Who Laughs, issue 1, reteams Scott Snyder and Jock, who did really good work on Detective Comics back during the time when Dick was Batman, during the Grant Morrison era.
Okay.
Did just an excellent run of sort of also horror-tinged, detective mystery comics.
Nice.
This ain't a detective mystery comic. This is slam-bang Scott Snyder new version action with Batman having to attack a heavily guarded transport that's disguised as one of those pre-made houses.
Yeah, they're moving a house on the freeway.
Right, but it actually contains a corpse that turns out to be Bruce Wayne. But before we get there, I want to talk about when Batman holds 3 batarangs in between his fingers in order to do like a Wolverine claw thing.
Yeah, I was confused by that for a second before I realized they were batarangs.
Now, this has been happening more and more lately. Like, artists love to do this. To have that. And I think that I've seen it in other Scott Snyder books. So I think
specifically Wolverine claws?
Well, not Wolverine claws, but it's always 3 batarangs between his fingers, and it's always these curved-looking batarangs, and they're definitely doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, man, holding 3 batarangs between your fingers, like between your knuckles, by the sharp parts, that's really not a good thing to do. Like, if he's planning on throwing those, which, he does throw them in this case, but I've seen him just slash with them. It's like Batman would make, one of those Wolverine claw bar things that people make. Just it's little, if he wanted to claw, he'd make himself a damn claw.
It's true.
So, turns out to be Bruce Wayne from another reality.
Yeah.
Which they can tell is different because he has a map of scars across his body that tell the tale of his career. And this Bruce Wayne's scars stop after the battle with Bane.
Yeah.
And he's got messed up fingernails.
I liked that a lot. That was fun. Just checking out all the scars.
Yeah. No, it's smart. The world's greatest detective. He's going to detective that shit.
Yeah.
But then we get to the meat of the issue. The Batman who actually does appear to have some claws that he's made, and he slashes the hobbits and people with.
Yeah.
We go to Arkham, and we get the Grim Knight, who is Batman and also the Punisher, but evil. And he's slaughtering a lot of guards in Arkham, and I think just fucking up Mr. Freeze. I don't think he killed him. He just burned him just cause.
Yeah.
Goes in there, finds the Joker, supposedly.
Yeah.
Steps aside so that good old new classic villain, the Batman Who Laughs, the Batman who's also the Joker, shows up. And he buries a scythe right in that Joker's head, but that ain't the Joker. Joker dies in Arkham all the time, and it's never the Joker. So Batman realizes that, just like in Metal, the only way that he's going to have any kind of chance of beating the Batman Who Laughs is by having a team up with the Joker. Yep. And the Joker appears to agree and shows up at the Batcave, according to some clues he left for Batman to let him know he was going to show up in the Batcave. But the Joker's idea of a team up It's not to actually team up, but is in fact to commit suicide by shooting himself in the heart. And this, I guess, is canonizing the whole Batman Who Laughs thing about the Joker having that venom in his heart. The toxin. The reason why Batman can't kill him, which I hate that they think that they have to literalize it.
Right. I don't like that part of it, but I do like that it does make the Joker a powerful force that isn't just a man, but his power is just that he's the Joker.
Right. His power can be used once if he dies.
Right.
Yeah. So he does it, and Batman gets Jokered.
Yes, he does.
So I guess our Batman might be the titular Batman Who Laughs. I don't know, man.
It really seems like it's going into the Batman Who Laughs versus the Batman Who Laughs, and that is weird.
This is like so directly follows out of Justice League. What with the whole Batman Who Laughs being part of Luthor's little plot, and then escaping and being like, could have escaped any time, and then Joker being like, oh yeah, well, to hell with your Legion of Doom, you mess with the Batman Who Laughs, like we all have to worry about that guy. And leads us directly into this weird horror comic, and Joker's already killed himself, and Joker's dead in this comic. Joker died in Batman in that church.
Yeah,
like in the
he
Tom
does all the
issue.
time, but it doesn't matter now.
What's happening to the continuity between books in these comics?
This destroys continuity. This something else happening.
Like, I wonder if we will get a reveal that this isn't the main universe. Like, it's a similar enough universe that it can follow the same continuity, but this Batman got Jokered also. This is the universe where the Batman Who Laughs was created when the Batman Who Laughs showed up.
But it doesn't matter anymore if Joker can die a million times because somebody else is just going to get that toxin and take up the mantle of being the Joker.
Oh dear God, is this going to be the explanation of the three Jokers thing? Is that Joker just has died and it is all these different guys and it's just the stupid Joker toxin and they're going to give this Joker a stupid scientific reason for everything?
If they don't, if They better not go into that much detail with it because that would ruin it. But having a Joker with this toxin that just bounces, like maybe it's it's the essence of the Joker. It's the soul of the Joker. It possesses you.
So like it carries personality as well.
It carries personality
and memory.
Maybe even memory, in small parts, because maybe the Joker doesn't have access to all of his being.
So Scott Snyder loves to do the Batman prepares for every contingency bit. So I wonder if there's going to be a way for Batman to have already figured out how to transfer the toxin out of the body without it being fatal. Maybe Batman has like a
That's what I was thinking would happen. He would have to maybe accidentally or on purpose inflict somebody with being the Joker other than himself in order to get it out of himself.
But what if he had sort of a plan where his heart can be extracted and replaced with like a backup heart he has standing by for just this scenario, and then that heart could just be sealed away without being pierced?
Oh man! And then that heart becomes a Joker that can like metamorphize like a symbiote.
Like the heart itself, like grows legs.
Yeah,
like a chicken in a Looney Tunes comic that's already been roasted.
I was thinking more like either the thing from outer space or it grows an entire body.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like the thing aspect.
Right, and the Joker gets kind of a thing aspect of himself, but also a symbiote.
Like in Looney Tunes, like the already cooked chicken would like get up and run sometimes.
Yeah, no, I knew exactly what you were thinking about.
So this book is crazy. I like Jock. A lot of people don't like Jock, and his art is different. But I think it's a well drawn book, and it's interesting. I want to read what's going to happen. I want to know what's going to happen next.
I know. It's real weird.
So I'd say that's a 7.
7? Okay, I'm going to rank it a little lower than that. Give it a 6.
You give it another 6?
Yeah, I'm moving it another 6.
All right.
And moving on, we have issue 3 of Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer's Murder Falcon. Yeah, and it's pretty good.
Fine. Fine.
This is them picking up their drummer who has a sick dad, and that almost, I guess that destroyed the band. Like, it was the final straw after the main guy's wife died or was sick.
Right. It seems like the band broke up when she was diagnosed as having to go into chemo.
Yeah.
And but even at that point, they had already lined up the replacement.
Yeah, and he wasn't cool with that and broke his guitar, and that was the last I saw of that. They didn't really do a good job of explaining that we were back in the present after that flashback, so I was real surprised when the monster shows up.
Well, the art makes it pretty clear when you think about it, because all the flashbacks are monochrome.
Right, and all of a sudden it's in color again when she turns on the lights.
It's true, and yeah, she looks real similar, and you're like, wait, is this the same character?
Right. But, no, that's her, and there's a monster outside, but luckily Jake and Al and Murder Falcon.
Murph!
Yeah, Murph. And the Mastodon all show up to grab her and run off to, you assume, get the drums wherever they're hidden in a cave. But after they get out of the city, they open up the back of the van and boom, they already collected the drums from an ancient tomb, so we didn't have to have a rehash of last issue.
That's true. That's true.
And I appreciated that.
On the one hand, I can appreciate that, but on the other hand, it kind of feels like giving up. Like, I can't come up with a second interesting tomb.
I know, but it's better than doing the same thing twice.
I hope that that's what he's aiming for, because as of issue 3, it is kind of feeling a little repetitive to me. Right.
In spite of that, it does kind of have a samey feeling with the other issues, because now that they got her with her drums, they decide she gets a solo. Her drums are pretty sweet. They got rockets on them. She starts to play, and boom, her Leviathan-esque thing from the deep waters comes up and basically swallows
the giant beast whole.
Swallows the giant beast whole. Everything's good. No problems there.
It's interesting how the summon beasts are very much starting to remind me of Final Fantasy summon beasts. Like, it's Leviathan!
Right. So, overall, I'd give this one a 6. I mean, it's still good, like the other ones, which I probably gave 6 or 7. But there is that samey feeling going on.
It is very samey, but the art is high energy. It looks good. The coloring is good. This guy, love this guy. I need more of this guy, the villain at the end.
Oh, yeah, we do get a little bit more of him at the end. And he's eyeballs everywhere.
And he's summoned the largest Pacific Rim monster yet as the cliffhanger. But, man, I'm disappointed. Say something, man. Like, weird eye person with your body made of eyes and stuff, and your, like, buttons that are eyes. And living in your building that we know is eyes.
Yeah.
Like, some eyes. Man, I like it. I gotta give this a 5.
All right.
I'm starting to... there better be a big change up in the next issue is all I'm saying, because...
I feel you.
Yeah. That's the same thing that lured me out of Oblivion song. It got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, you're just trying to extend the story.
Right. You can't have that. It's got to evolve.
Okay. So moving on to Batman Annual 3 by Tom Taylor. And, who is the artist on this? I'm never going to find the art page, am I? Damn, all right, it's probably at the end. Because this
probably at the back.
Yeah. Otto Schmidt, which I did want to mention because it's very well drawn. I really like the art of this. See, when I picked this up and it was a fat issue, I was afraid that this was going to be like a collection of short stories.
Right, that's most of the annuals have been.
Right, which, those can be fine, but usually they end up being in varying quality.
Yeah.
This ended up being just a extra-sized Alfred story.
I liked that about it.
And it was just fantastic. It's Batman is out on patrol. There's a dangerous thing going on with a new villain named the Drone, who's using military drones in a villainous fashion, which I also like.
Yeah.
And he's got the flu, and Alfred's just trying to take care of him, and we see all the ways in which Alfred takes care of him. And, we've seen that in comics before, but,
sure.
Just the little things, the way that he makes him the soup in the container that's going to fit right into the cup holder, and the bat planes that he can fly it. And you think, okay, we're going to get this nice wholesome story, and then the twist happens when Batman in his fight is critically injured, and Alfred needs to become Batman himself.
Yeah.
He grabs the Batmobile, grabs a mask that he's got ready so that he can pop on and be the Bat Butler. And he looks pretty badass in it, I gotta say. And Batman's lying bleeding in an alley, and some crooks are gonna mug him. And which, damn, ironic. And Alfred gives them both a verbal and a physical thrashing.
Yes.
He gets pretty messed up, He's an old man.
Yeah, he is, but he is, Black Ops? Ex-Black Ops?
Right, British SAS. Yeah, no, he's a tough guy.
He can handle himself.
And just a quick pause back. It's interesting, I thought, how much of a dichotomy this issue was with the Batman Who Laughs. We didn't talk too much about all the, my childhood and the things I loved during my childhood. And now Alfred's the one who's with me. And, Alfred means so much to me. And that's also kind of what this is about. But this one is so touching.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, we see how cool the Batmobile is, where he can engage autopilot and slide the passenger seat out into a medical bed, and then he's got all these medical supplies on hand. So
not just for Batman.
Right, he's got all the blood types on hand.
Yeah.
Because, Batman's got to be treating people in there on occasion.
Exactly.
The Batmobile knows to take them to Leslie Tompkins' clinic, because she is she's the one. She's Batman's doctor.
Yeah, she won't tell.
And they agree that Alfred's had a rough time of it lately, and he can't relax, and Bruce is out there. And so
he has the flu. Batman has the flu.
They need to take it easy. So Batman does that thing I love when Batman does it, which is he relies on the family. He lets some of the others take his patrols for a few nights so that he can stay around and talk to Alfred.
Yeah.
And you get that last page reveal. They set it up when the doctor's talking to Batman. She says, we should take it easy for him. You know what tomorrow is. And you almost think, is it Alfred's birthday?
Right.
But no. It's Father's Day. That's good Batman.
Yeah, it does make you tear up a little.
It's because Alfred's his dad, man.
Yeah.
His father may have died, but Alfred's his dad.
Well, yeah, because his father died. I mean, it doesn't get more touching than that.
That's a 9. That's been better.
Yeah.
That's better than every issue of Tom King's Batman.
Yeah, it is a 9. For sure.
So, last but not least, we have the new issue of Hawkman, issue 7 of the current run, and that is by Robert Venditti.
Yep.
Venditti.
Yeah, he's been good. And Brian Hitch. Drawing
every issue.
Yeah. And, what this is the origin of Hawkman.
It's great. And it's also pretty obviously the origin of the that villain that was teased on the end of the last issue, the Shadow with the wings, the Deathbringer.
The Deathbringer. But I guess they were all Deathbringers. He's a Qatar Deathbringer.
Right.
And him and his fellow Deathbringers brought... they killed a lot of worlds and brought slaves to sacrifice to their master.
The Hawk
Gods. In their portal.
But then this mysterious woman, who I assume is Shiera, the woman that's being reincarnated into Hawk Girl.
Right. She starts just showing up, and at first it seems like the other Deathbringer who's hanging out with Hawkman can't see her, but Hawkman can see her, and he doesn't kill her. And he continues to not kill her as he sees her on every world he goes to, bringing death.
And eventually, though, the other guy does see her.
And then the guy does see her, and so he immediately tries to kill her.
I really hope that there's more clarification on that specific point, because that is interesting.
Well, it seems like it was done on purpose.
I hope so.
Yeah, but because... Hawkman has not been, or Qatar, I should say. He's not Hawkman right now.
Right.
But he's Hawkman.
So the audience knows who we're talking about.
Yeah. He stops his fellow Deathbringer from killing her. And so the other guy is like, you got soft, but you're the leader, and I'm not going to challenge you right now, so whatever. But you probably gone soft, man. He's like, nah, I haven't gone soft. But then it comes time to sacrifice the next load.
Like the last load, it seems.
Yeah, like the last load of people, and then the hot gods can be freed and come out and rain death on everything or whatever they want to do. And the woman shows up once again. And Hawkman decides, we're not going to do this last load. I'm going to get them to rise up and help them, and all of us are going to die together, stopping this from happening.
I love his little speech where he's like, we're all dead, no matter what happens here, but let's make our deaths mean something.
Yeah.
Don't die because of me, die with me.
Exactly. And then he's a hero.
He's a hero, and then some other force.
And some other force comes and tells him, well, you can die here, or you can live until all the death you've dealt has been paid off. Every life that you have killed throughout your future reincarnations, you'd have to save just as many lives. And as soon as you save just as many lives, then you can finally die.
And you will instantly die.
And you will instantly die. And he says, all right, that sounds good to me. Make me a reincarnating superhero who can save lives.
Yep.
No matter how long it takes. And that's pretty cool.
Yep, so then we get quick flash forward to present. Carter has now remembered everything about his past and why he left himself these clues.
Yeah, he knows everything. He learned everything as we learned it.
He obviously knew or realized that he was forgetting about his origins, and so he left himself a map.
Yep.
And we've now followed the map. And so next step on the list of tasks he left for himself is to find the weapon that was hidden on Krypton by the Kryptonian Hawkman.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That sounds great.
So what do you give it?
I give it an 8.
And 8 is the right score for this. This was a very good issue. This is one of those classic... retcon the origin, give us a new thing, but have it not break the previous mythology in any way. It just slots in perfectly with the way that everything had been working before.
Right, still all makes sense.
That's how comics. That's how they used to be written, man.
Yeah,
less and less.
Hawkman, he's so much cooler than just a Hawkman.
I can't believe how cool Hawkman is.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like, I'm really a Hawkman fan now. Like, I want him to show up in things, you know? Like,
yeah, this has really done it.
All right. Well, that's it for this week.
That's the LAAGCast.
Thanks for checking us out. We'll be back again next week.
With more comics and show movies. Whatever.